Hi, and welcome to a new tutorial. So today we're going to be going through the process of onboarding for a new event, and we're going to go through the process of creating a new event. So in order to get to the screen that I'm at now, you would click on onboarding in the left-hand column. And here you would either select a pre-existing event or you would create a new event. So we're going to create a new event. You're going to name your event, and so I'll name mine Plano So for the description, I just wrote, looking for your next business partner. We've got you covered. Come to Plano, Texas matchmaking event to make lasting business connections to help your business succeed. So for these two columns right here, both the name of the event as well as the description, that is going to be public to anyone who views your profile. So just make sure to, or anybody who views your event. So just make sure to have these be like professional and clean, and that people know what it is and what the event's going to be doing. Next is select your event privacy. So you can either choose public or private. Public just means that anybody can find the event and anybody can register for the event, whereas private is like if you have a set people who you are wanting to attend the event and you don't want anybody to be able to find it. We have like a system where we have members, and so you can invite members to the site, and then those are the only people who can buy tickets. And so it makes it a private event rather than something that anybody can attend and anybody can go to. So we're going to make this one a public event. And then next is your flow type. And so we have a video talking about the different types of flow types and which one may be best for you. This event that we're doing today is just going to be a like simple paid event. And so we're going to click registration for a paid event. So this is a really great option if you're looking for an event where your attendees will have tickets, and the tickets do cost money. But I highly encourage you to check out our other tutorial about flow types where you can figure out like which one may be best for you. And then you're going to click save and continue. And regardless of which flow type you choose, this process is the same. So like if you chose a different flow type than me, don't worry, because this process here doesn't change regardless of which flow type you choose. Next is event planner. So here we have all of the different tools that you can implement for your event, and we can go through these really quickly. First, we have like our event planner, and these are modules that you can implement in your event. But this first one we have is event planner, and this allows you to really kind of take your event to the next level. It allows for you to have different like management tools in your portal, from like registration tools to activities planning, logistics, matchmaking, things like that. So it really, really helps you customize your event, helps you bring your event to that next level. Next is business opportunities, and really these three, business opportunities, business connections, and Rolodex, these are all really great networking tools for your attendees. And so it's a great thing to implement to really use as a promotional tool for your event as a way to get people to sign up, because these are really great ways for people to publish business opportunities, connect with one another, and potentially have really successful networking sessions with people who are in the same industry as them or people who could help them grow their business. So these three right here are really great networking tools. Now, event surveys, this is just a way to engage surveys before, after, and during your event. So if that's something that interests you, I would definitely select it. This one right here, event campaigns, as well as template builder. These are just marketing tools for you. And so you can implement different types of advertising campaigns via email, text, voice marketing, and then you can use templates from the template builder in order to create those campaigns. So those are great marketing tools for the event creator. And then lastly is the event reporting. And this is just an analytics tool. And so it allows you to see like who's viewing your event, what they're doing at your event, like what they're doing on your event page, and then what their behavior is whenever they visit your site. So it's a great analytics tool to learn more about your customer base and as well as the performance of your website. So I would highly recommend selecting all of these. And once you're content with your selections, click save and continue. Next, you're going to be adding your attendee type. Now, for this event, I'm just going to say that this is a social media event. Really, what an attendee type is, you will have different types of attendees, and each attendee is a category for the people who are going to be attending your event. So in this example right here, if this was a social media event, and let's say the matchmaking event is like social media experts who are connecting with business owners to help them grow their business. If that was the case, we would have two different type of attendees. And you can choose from three different ones. So we have the attendees that are selling entities, the attendees that are buying entities, and then a third option for attendees that don't fall into either one of those categories. And so theoretically, regardless of if you have like 500 people attending your event or just 20 people, they should fall into one of these categories, and you should create an attendee type that reflects that. So for this one, since we're doing the social media example, the first one I'm selecting is the attendee is a selling entity. So this would be the social media expert, or like the agencies who are there to sell their services. So for description, I just wrote social media agencies who are looking to sell their services of social media marketing to local businesses in order to help expand and grow their business. Now, keep in mind, like with attendee title and attendee description, this is visible to the public, so you want to make sure to make it very clear and very concise as to what this is, so that there's no question whenever people are registering, there's no question like which attendee type they fall under. And you can also add an attendee image here. Next, we'll add the second category. So since we already did the selling entity, this one will be the buying. So we'll do business owners looking to grow. And then for the description, I just wrote business owners looking to grow their business using social media. So you would just, again, click in whatever it pertains to you. So if you can have as many attendee types as you want. You can have 10, 20, 30, 40, and then you can like have as many of each as you want as well. So it's fully customizable. And once you feel good, you're going to click save and continue. Next is our create a user profile. So this is all the information that you can potentially have users fill in during the registration process. Now, all of these items are defaulted to required and active. So these are all like, if you left this as is, this is all stuff that would be required by the user to be filled out. I highly recommend you go through and you like streamline this, because you don't need all of this information. And I think that very few people are going to fill in that much information. So let's go through this now and select some of the options that are good ones to have. So first name, last name, those are always good ones. So we'll leave those as is. Job title, I'm going to deactivate. So I do so by clicking this check mark so that it's just blank. Phone number, I'll deactivate as well. For biography and responsibilities, I'm going to deactivate, but you're welcome to keep it. Cell phone number, I'm going to make that as optional. And so in order to do that, you click this little drop-down menu and then you select optional. You can also make it so that it's only optional or required for a certain group of people. So you can deselect, like maybe you don't need business owners to give their cell phone numbers, but you want the social media experts too. You can select that here. And then you can also make it searchable. So if you want people to be able to search for each other's phone numbers, you can select that option here as well. And so it also defaults to selected for that. And so if you want to deselect that, you can do so here as well. And then we have our email here. I'm going to leave that as required. And then your address, like home address, so street address, city, state, and zip code, I'm going to deselect that, and I would encourage you to do the same unless there's a very specific reason that you need their home address. Next is website, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn URL. Now, these are okay ones to have, but the problem is that not everybody has these services, so I would make this optional. I definitely wouldn't make it required. So I would either make it required or optional, or just deselect it altogether. I'm going to deselect it for mine. And then next you have video URL, Vimeo URL, Google URL, and intro video URL. I'm going to deactivate all of these, but if you have a specific need for this, then make it optional. And then you can also add a new field here if you want to add a field that isn't seen. And then in order to move on, you click Save. But then before you move on to the next section, you want to go up to your organization. And then here is the same type of thing, but this is more like company oriented. And so you can go through and like add your company name, your role, major initiatives, opportunity forecast, years in business, things like that. So it's the same thought process. And so you can go through and activate and deactivate that. And again, make it marked as required, or it only is applied to certain people. I'm going to deactivate all of this. And then next I'm going to go to products and services. Now, this is a unique section here. And again, you can add new fields. You can also add a new section up here. But this is a unique section because of the fact that we actually use this section here as a tool for matchmaking. So if you're setting up a matchmaking event and there's going to be a lot of different attendee types there, I would highly recommend making a lot of these either required or optional at the very least, because we use things like keywords, industry types, and then these various codes as a way to create an effective matchmaking tool. So we have an algorithm that we use, and then we use that algorithm paired with these pieces of information to create a successful matchmaking session. So just keep that in mind whenever you're selecting these fields. For the sake of my example, I'm going to deactivate it, but again, I highly recommend you keep it activated if you're doing matchmaking. And then click Save and Continue. Next, you're going to create your login page. So this is the page that's required whenever people will log back into their accounts. It's also something that they'll go through whenever they create their login information. So you can create a new field here if you don't see a field that you want. I'm going to deactivate type of business and company name, but I'm going to keep the other fields. Make sure that whenever you're doing this, that you do have email and password selected. Like these need to be selected, or else people will not be able to log back into their account. So really, it's only these top 4 that are really optional, because you have to have email and password. And so you can also, again, create a new field. And then once you're done, you're going to click Save. And that's it. I mean, that's as simple as that is. It's super, super easy to create an event. And then once you've created it, you'll be taken back to the screen. And then in order to edit information like event date, registration date, you click on it. And then you're brought to these tiles here. And you can navigate these tiles in order to edit further information. And we have tutorials on how to do all of that. So this is the complete tutorial on creating event. And then if you want more tutorials on how to edit event information, you can check that out in our tutorial section.